Okay, let's be honest. If you've ever been involved with a school sports day, you know the feeling. It's this incredible mix of pure excitement and just absolute chaos. Well, today we're going to look at something called Athletic Bharat, which is designed to tackle that chaos head-on.
You know this question, right? You hear it a million times. The coordinator has one version of the schedule, a teacher has another, and the real latest version is probably buried in some crazy WhatsApp group chat. It's a recipe for total confusion before the first whistle even blows.
And then you get to the scoring. Handwritten scores get smudged, someone types a number in wrong, and boom, suddenly you're not even watching the games anymore. You're trying to solve a dispute over a result that should have been simple.
And the grand finale of all this chaos, trying to figure out who actually won. You're piecing together the final leaderboard from scraps of paper, photos on phones, and 5 different spreadsheets. It is a massive headache for everyone.
So let's just lay it out side by side. On one hand, you have the old way, a mess of Excel files, total WhatsApp chaos, and scores scribbled on paper. And on the other, you have the Athletic Bharat way, one central place for everything, a single source of truth and digital, accurate scores. I mean, the difference is night and day, isn't it? This is about swapping frustration for, well, a system that actually flows.
So the whole idea here is actually super simple. It's about having one single place for everything. The goal is to get rid of all those little points of failure by putting all the information in one spot.
So in a nutshell, Athletic Bharat becomes the one and only hub for your whole competition. Right away, that means way less paperwork and way less confusion. It automatically handles all the boring stuff like scores and brackets. And here's the most important part. Everyone, and I mean everyone, from the principal to the parents, is looking at the exact same up-to-the-minute information.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. We can actually look at how specific features are built to solve those exact problems we were just talking about. Let's break down how it actually works. First off, setting up your event is incredibly easy. You just add the basic details, pick your sports from a list that's already there, create your categories, like under 14 boys football, and then add your teams. That's it. It's a simple 4-step process that pulls all your basic info into one organized place from the get-go.
And just like that, poof, a huge headache is just gone. You're no longer juggling 10 different spreadsheets or typing the same kid's name a dozen times for different events. It's all in one place, right from the very start.
Now let's talk about fixtures, because this is kind of the magic part. You literally click a button that says Generate Bracket, and the app instantly creates all the matches for the entire tournament. And the best part? As soon as a winner is entered, they automatically move on to the next round. The whole bracket updates itself in real time.
So just think about what that means. Gone are the days of drawing these complicated brackets on a giant whiteboard or, even worse, having to frantically redo the whole thing because a team dropped out. It's all handled for you.
Okay, now for the scoring. This is so cool. The app uses what they call smart scorecards, which means the app actually understands the rules of the sport you're playing. So for volleyball, it knows about winning by 2 points. It checks for impossible scores. If you try to enter a final score of 25-24 in volleyball, it'll actually flag it and say, hey, that doesn't look right.
And the result of that is just so powerful. You get fewer mistakes, which naturally leads to fewer arguments. What you end up with is a system of results that everyone, students, coaches, parents, can actually look at and trust. It brings a real sense of integrity to the whole competition.
And because it's all digital, everything happens live. The leaderboards update the very second a final score is entered. You can even give separate logins to different teachers or volunteers so they can enter scores for the games they're watching. No more waiting for one person to update everything.
So that never-ending question, hey, what's the score? Or who's winning the tournament? It finally has one simple answer. Just check the app. It's always there, it's always live, and it's always correct.
So let's just boil it all down for a second. For every one of those classic sports day problems, the messy fixtures, the questionable scores, the hunt for the leaderboard, Athletic Bharat has a clean, simple, digital answer. It's a direct fix for the old, chaotic way of doing things.
But that's just what the app can do right now. Let's take a quick peek at what's on the horizon, because the plan is to make this whole experience even smoother.
Now this is a potential game changer, especially for parents. Imagine getting a single, simple web link for the entire event. You share it, and anyone can see the live scores, the schedules, and the rankings without needing to download an app or log in. Think of how many questions that one feature could answer.
And what about after the event?
Well, imagine automatically generating all of the winner and participation certificates in minutes, not days. And for the students, how cool is this? A one-click button to share their achievement, I came first in the 100-meter dash, straight to their social media. It gives them the power to celebrate their hard work instantly.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, who really benefits from a system like this? Well, the answer is pretty much everybody involved.
For the school's management, it just looks way more professional and organized. For the coordinators on the ground, it's a lifesaver. Less paperwork, fewer questions to answer. For the students themselves, it means clear, fair results they can trust. And of course, for the parents, it means finally having easy access to what's going on. It really is a win for everyone.
When you see it all laid out like this, it really feels like it's time for a change, you know? The idea of running a huge, complex event using a messy combination of WhatsApp and Excel just feels outdated.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Let the technology handle all the boring, repetitive, error-prone stuff that frees up the teachers and the coaches to do what they actually love doing, focusing on the games and, most importantly, on the kids.
So, it all comes down to a really simple question to ask yourself. When you think about how things are run right now, is your school ready to simplify its sports day?